Right, today I'm starting on this project here. It's a Triumph Tiger, making a rigid frame for it and getting it into a rolling chassis and a few other jobs. And we're using the modern Triumph Trident front forks rear wheel on this bike. So I've pushed on with it. I've machined the steering head already, and I've made the front engine section here. This has been made out of one section of tube. I've put a wee tack on it down here just to hold it in place, and the same on the other side. It's going to be a single down tube, so we've got that already made as well. I just want to move on with this frame because we've got a few other things to do to it. One of the things it requires is it needs a JackShaft done for it, so I've not showed you a JackShaft before, so I'll take you through that. So one of the things I'm doing is the bar that runs through the back of the frame supporting the back tube that runs at the back of the engine. To give it as much rigidity as possible, because I might be taking the JackShaft off of this, what I've done is I've bored a hole, and this is just a wee section of the tube that is going to fit through it. And what I've done is, if the camera picks it up, is I've actually welded some holes at the bottom so that I can attach so that I can lay some welds through these and attach the tube right through into the base of this, giving it some extra support. It's probably over engineering it, but it's one of the things that I tend to do rather than get to the problem and having to redo it. So it's maybe slightly over engineering it. I thought that wasn't sitting straight there. There's maybe a better view of it. It should cross all these centrally. And I've also put a wee countersink into these holes just to make it slightly easier when I fill them with weld, to spread the weld a bit. And that's just going to sit in at the back here. And we're going to take the JackShaft off of this here. The standard back wheel on the Triumph Trident, the modern one, runs about 40mm outboard of this sprocket in here. So we'll take you through the procedure in making that, but just thought I would show you. So this is the basis. I'll put a still into the video, but this is the basis of the frame I'm building here. So there we have it so far. I've splayed out these back tubes so that we can work in the JackShaft for the rear sprocket, and everything's just slightly tacked on this now. Got the tank tube on. We'll be taking that back off again to fit in the couple of mountings that I've got for the Sportster tank to go in it. But it's looking quite nice right now. Front engine mountings on, and the other thing that I'm planning to do is, rather than take these engine mountings off of the centre tube at the back here, I'm actually going to carry them on and make up a mounting plate off of the bottom rail here and bring these up, which I think will also keep them nice and neat and tidy, as well as clearing up this area at the back here, so that there'll be nothing interfering with the chain coming out, which will allow me good access into this section here for doing the JackShaft. I think it's much better splaying the tubes out like this here, rather than doing the sort of U-tube section for the rear axle, which is quite common in a lot of bikes for widening the back end of the frame. It's probably the easier option to do that than do this. This is quite a bit more work involved, but as I say, that will allow me the wider section down here for mounting the JackShaft, which has got to be 40mm outboard from that sprocket. So you can see that gives me the room here to work that in. So we're going to tack on the seat rails on the top here, and that'll be sort of frame complete, and I'll leave it sort of tacked together just in case there's any wee adjustments that I've got to make when I'm doing the JackShaft itself. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's looking quite smart. I can't really see the camera here, I'll just zoom it out. a bit tight for space. Gives you an idea of the whole frame. I'll put in a couple of stills as well just to let you see it. But there we have it at the moment. Right, I'm about to weld in the fittings to mount the tank onto the tank tube, and as you can see here, what I've actually done is I've drilled the holes in the mill, and if this will focus on this, what I've actually done after that is I've enlarged the hole with basically a chamfer. Now part of the reason for that, I'll just slide in this fitting just now, is that once it's in I'm going to grind the sides down and keep the radius as much as possible for the actual tank. So if I didn't have this chamfer in place, basically when I ground the weld and the fitting down, there would be virtually nothing holding it at all. So chamfers are very important for doing things like this. Now you wouldn't be able to chamfer that with just using an ordinary drill as you do if you're just doing it in a flat piece of plate or something similar. So what I've actually done is I've used the bar on a drill, and it's allowed me to take these edges quite far down, and once they're filled up with weld, grind them back down and 3/4 of the weld is still left. So that's why chamfers are so important. And the other wee thing that I'll show you just while we're here is these wee vice clamps that I've made up. As you can see, it is just simply a couple of bits of angle iron with the ends capped that go over the edge of the vice, and another piece of angle iron welded in to give us the V. And this will hold most sizes of tubes, certainly all the sizes of the ones I need. And for the thinner sizes, all I do is I slip in another piece of angle iron, and that shuts down the diameter even more. Very, very handy things to have, and it saves the tubes getting marked up sometimes when you have to hold them fairly tight, and the chances are that the teeth marks on the vice will actually leave a mark on the sides of the tube, which, you know, isn't very attractive looking and can possibly get seen through the paint. So just another wee tip there of one of the things I do just to make life a bit easier when I'm working on the bike frames. Right, we'll push on and let you see this. So that's it, welded the bottom and the top mount. So we're going to grind it now and clean up the radius. So here's the finished result, nice and smooth as you can see, nice radius around it. I finished it off in the linisher, so that's what keeps it nice and clear, and if I can zoom in that, you can see where there's a wee gap before the actual threads start on it. And same with the rear tank mounting here as well. You see it's just 2 or 3 millimetres underneath the surface. Well, it's actually probably about 4 mil. But there we have it. One of the things I'm definitely going to say to you here about mounting tanks is never ever ever just drill a hole through the frame and put a bolt through it. It's, to be honest with you, suicidal. I see so many of the better known custom builders in the telly doing this all the time, and to be honest with you, I shudder every time I see it. There's absolutely no reason for it at all. It's completely unsafe. I don't care what anybody says. It's suicidal. If somebody thinks that's a good idea and they want to argue the point, then my answer to that would be, well, why don't you drill a hole the same size as the bolt hole here, 10 millimetres. Drill that through your front forks. Both front forks, drill a nice hole through it. You know, there, that's me said it. If you do, it's, you know, your own fault when your frame cracks and breaks. I'll just give this a wee turn and let you see. There's the underneath of it, so it's still fully welded here. I usually actually leave these inside the frame tube and just weld a contact patch and grind it clean, but this chap wants these right through for using for mounting points for various other things. So, and there's the rear mounting one as well. But there we have it. Nice and clean engine mounts without just a hole. Right, I'm doing this jack shaft for this Triumph that I'm building. So this is what I've come up with so far. I bought these sprockets, and there's two ways of doing it. I can machine this out to fit the bearing, or can drill it out and put a key bay in it to pick up the drive to the other one at the other side. So we're still working on that. I'm using good quality bearings for this. These are the standard motorcycle bearings fitted to ZX9s and various other 1000 models that the industry use. So that's what we're going to be using for the drive on it, whatever direction we take. So we'll get on with that and show you as we progress. Right, to bring you up to date with this Triumph jack shaft that I'm doing, I sort of rushed ahead a bit last night and didn't really take many videos or any at all. Just got into doing what I was doing. So the first thing I did was made up some cardboard templates and fitted them on first of all, cut in a rough shape. I supported the shaft on a couple of wee jacks I've got so that I could get it level. One for the other side. And made sure it was square, looking down on it. I'm probably moving this too fast. I don't know if this will pick it up. And also checking that it was parallel with the engine sprocket. See if we can. I've got a torch here, so hopefully that's picking that up. Right, to recap, I'm doing this frame for a Triumph Tiger 750, and we're putting in the modern Triumph Trident running gear onto it. So I'm having to make a jack shaft up for it. So this is as far as we've got so far with it. We've got torch here just to light up some areas. We've drilled for the shaft, it's nice and level to the jig and perpendicular, if that's the right word for it. Running across the way. And we're going to machine slots in here. Same sort of idea as the rear swinging arm on both ends, and then what we'll do is we're going to machine the bearings into both of the pilot bore sprockets, that's what they're called, pilot bore, and enlarge the bore out and weld the shaft between the two of them, or bolt the shaft on between the two, and we'll see which way we go. But that's the idea there. I'm going to trim these brackets down before I make them out of 10mm plate. These are just to allow me to see if the idea would work. And finally they're going to be held in at the bottom with 3 holes and again 10mm bolts in them. So we'll push on with this and let you see it as it advances. Sorry I've not shown you more of the detail, but I just really pushed on with it, so I never had time to shoot much more videos, but I'll try and take you through the rest of it.